have made no effort to get it okayed by the state. In fact, I believe you probably encouraged them not to give their blessing to it. I'm done, that's all I have to say.
Hi, my name is Oscar Rivera, 9475 Highland Court.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last name.
Oscar Rivera, V-E-R-A.
Thank you.
I'm new to St. John. We've only been here a little over a year. Our builder was Sublime Homes. He built us a very nice home, very good quality. We wish his company to do well and great, but we have concern over their changing up the zoning behind our lot. Our new house backs up to the lots that we reduced in size by to 150 over 105, I think it is, or that's what they're asking for. Back there is wetlands, there's many trees, many infrastructure and wildlife. We moved here, we had the choice to move into Dyer or Munster, closer to our family. We chose St. John because of its openness, its wilderness, and the size of the lots. I keep hearing from everywhere, and I've seen, and I think I'm representing everybody from the Willowridge current phases. We've had a big email chain going on for the last 2 weeks. Nobody's happy about this. The houses, those houses, if they're allowed, your house is going to be backed up right against our backyard because of the size of the lot. Especially if they're going to be anywhere close to 3,000 square foot size house. Their patio is going to be right against our back. It's going to be right against the utility, 30-foot easement or whatever. We're basically going to be living together, and even if it's not a row house, it's going to be like a row house because we're going to be so close together. I wish the board to preserve the integrity of the town, the openness, the wildlife. Also, our subdivision right now is not connected to the main roads. It's not a connected fairway. The plans I've seen recently, they do not have a straight line to them, 93rd, but they do have a jog into the old subdivision and into 93rd. So you move over one block. So this opens us up for a thoroughway as well. There's a lot of other things as far as drainage, there's drainage problems. If you're gonna use the current wetlands and drain in there, it's gonna destroy any wildlife that's there with all the runoff from the new subdivision, grass, fertilizations, all kinds of other things. I wish his company well. We respect him, we think he's great, but this size reduction and change of zone is not good for St. John or Willow Ridge. And I think I represent a lot of the folks in Willow Ridge. And that's all I'm going to say to folks, if they take that into consideration.
Hi, Catherine Wilson, 9621 East Oak Ridge. Fortunately, my neighborhood isn't one of those that's being affected by all the new construction and developing that's going on. I'm in one of the older areas, Homestead. And but I can see, I started coming to these meetings less than a year ago, and mostly my interest was seeing what was going on in the town, and I'm hearing all these people where their concerns about the number of variances that are constantly going through. You're changing zoning for developments that have been in process for some time, and I don't know if they're trying to finish up what land is left, what the reasons are for it, but I can understand the concern for reducing the lot sizes, changing them to multiple family units, but we need to consider the increase in the number of residents and the effects that that has on the current residents. You know, there's, this last gentleman mentioned the water drainage, there's the schools, you know, I mean, traffic, there's just so many things. You know, I made a comment here that maybe if the developers would give something back to the community in the way of a park or a nature bike walk, something along that way. But basically, we need to look at the traffic. Do we really need all these new homes? I'm just kind of curious. I mean, I know development is good and it's a fact of life, But what is the turnover rate on older homes? Are there very many on the market? Are they being sold, or is it just new construction is being sold? How many of the homes in this development aren't even ready for sale? They're just in various stages of development. I'm not in a neighborhood that's affected. I'm not even a St. John native, and I know a lot of people here, you know, comment how long they've been in the town, and that's one reason why they don't like the changes. I'm one of those Illinois people. When my son was looking for a new home.
You're gonna have to wrap it up, you have about 15 seconds left. Sorry.
Afraid I'm just a little over there. But why he looked in this area, we like the quality of the schools. Their ratings have dropped. He looked at the value of the house and taxes, a big yard for his family. In the comprehensive plan, you referenced,
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to cut you off.
can I make one more comment about cottage homes and age restricted? I come from Plainfield, and I lived in a senior age restricted community. That was in Plainfield. And we had trouble when we went to, I shouldn't say trouble, there was a lot of work getting the home because the value of the homes in Plainfield were reducing so drastically in value because of all of the defaults and foreclosures. And we don't want to see that happening here. You know, if you get too many people coming in and they, no, this isn't what I want, and they move out.
Thank you, ma'am.
I do thank you.
Hi, my name is Crystal Vera. I live at 9475 Highland Court. I'm a Chicago, Illinois transplant, new to St. John area, but I grew up in Porter County in Chesterton. And so my request would be that I understand that the previous application was incomplete. So the issue for Rose Gardens will be revisited, the rezoning. I'm requesting that there should be some announcement made for the residents. I know that you said that it does not need to be made again, that the builder has fulfilled his obligation, but I think the town council needs to fulfill their obligation to the residents since they accepted an application that was incomplete to notify us of the next meeting so all of us can make the effort to attend.
It will be, if it is scheduled now to be on the next meeting in, what's our next meeting?
May 3rd is the continued public hearing.
May
We'll
3rd.
we'll also see them April 19th at a study session, I would anticipate. So 2 weeks from tonight, and then 4 weeks from tonight.
If they can meet all the requirements, they will be here May 3rd to have the public hearing.
Thank you very much. And lastly, I would just say I think you guys have a great job ahead of you in terms of balancing growth as well as preserving the small town feel. And that's a delicate job, but I do implore you to look at not just new developments, but like everyone has said about preserving the yard space, lot space, community, the small town feel, as well as allowing for growth in terms of getting revenue for us to continue to maintain our school system. So I implore you to kind of, I know you're going to look at the entire picture and not just look at it as just purely a rezoning, but how that affects everything in the future in terms of education and whatnot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Timothy Boucher, and I live at 9505 Highland Court, St. John. My comments are in reference also to B for the Rose Garden Unit 3. We've lived here about 3 years in this town, and the reason that we purchased the house was because of the larger size lots. And one of our biggest things is we wanted privacy, and obviously the privacy now will go away because we'll have homes behind us. And again, that was the reason we purchased that home, because we could have also purchased on the lake across the street. But we wanted complete privacy, which there are woods and trees and things like that. So we also would like to see St. John stay with the integrity of the R1 zoning. And you know, that's why we moved here. I think that's why a lot of people moved here. And, you know, I'm with the first guy that spoke. I don't remember his name, but, you know, the zoning, the variances have to stop. I mean, in order to have the larger lots and, you know, to stay with the St. John theme as far as, you know, having the bigger lots and having the privacy. And, you know, I urge you guys to not let them do the variances. And I know they're building quality homes. I get that. We don't have a problem with that. But also, if the lots are shortened to, from 150 feet to 200 feet deep, how much of a quality home are you going to build on a 95-foot wide lot and 150 foot deep? So I don't agree with it. I think that, you know, that St. John should stick with, and I believe that it was recommended by them at one of their meetings that they do stay with those, you know, 100 by 200 lots. And, but that's it. Thank you.
Any other public comment?
Can I make a comment?
Please.
Y'all know who I am.
State your name and address for the record.
Dave Barrick, live in Brighton Woods, in Dyer. I got one comment to make and one question.
I need your address.
434 Brighton Woods.
Thank you, sir.
You're the only person on this whole board up here that was here from day one when we started building and developing in this town, which was approximately, I think, 12 years ago. You're the only one. Everyone else has been changed, come and go. And I resent the comment made by Joe Hero saying that you should resign. You changed a lot of things. You stopped us from doing some of our plans. You made us change our plans. You did your job that you were hired to do. Now you're the president. You even stayed long enough to become the president. So I really resent him getting up here, making a comment, and people applauding when you're like one of the original founding fathers here. And I'm here to testify that here, this is what I'm talking about. You changed my plans many times. We had the first phase, the second phase, much bigger than this third phase. And you were the one that were instrumental in changing the plans and maybe cutting the density down. I'm sure you did. So I have to sit here and I have to listen to this, and this applauding that's going on infuriates me. So that's my comment. My question is, in light of what my attorney aired here tonight, and your attorney's here listening to, and I think he was sort of open to my attorney communicating with him, maybe get to the bottom of that ordinance for the confusion. I think that we should at least been granted a chance for my attorney to discuss it with him and this table for another 30 days to clear that ordinance up, because I thought my attorney brought up some very valid points that you guys were within your rights, you were within the ordinance to make the decisions in the past that you made. And my question is, why didn't you defer us? Why did you just cut us? Why did you cut us off? Why do you think that we got deferred? Why didn't you give us a chance? Consider how much time and money I put into this. And I did have an attorney that did a lot of research, so why couldn't we at least have a chance for my attorney to discuss it with your attorney? You've got two, yeah, I have one. And then maybe come to some common ground on that ordinance, because obviously there's some difficulty in that ordinance. But it's the same ordinance that I faced 12 years ago for my other two phases. That's my question. Why couldn't we have a chance to talk about it?
I need to let you have your comment time, and I will answer your question. If there's anything else you want answered, you got about 20 seconds to talk.
I got a lot, but I need more than 20 seconds. I guess I'm done.
I've heard that before. The only thing I'll say is that I do appreciate the argument that your attorney brought out. Your attorney is fighting for you. I personally, I have to rely on our attorney, his interpretation, and the direction that he gives us. That is why I personally voted to dismiss the application. I have to rely on our attorney.
And if I can add, functionally, it's a bit of a technicality, because, I mean, we're We're not cutting off the project, we didn't decline it. We just dismissed the current application. It needs to be resubmitted in a different form to different bodies.
You know, we'd have to do the public hearing and everything over again.
Sorry.
We can't get into
Yeah,
a
well,
discussion here. I would suggest that your attorney contact our attorney, have some kind of conversation, come back to the study session, and we will figure out if or how this project moves forward.
okay, sounds fair.
That's the best I can do for you.
You've always been fair, Mike.
Try.
Thank you.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, sorry, no, sorry. One bite at the apple. That's the rule. I'm sorry, I didn't. These rules did not come into effect because of me. Is there any other public comment? All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Mr. Kennedy. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?